So from that, remember, we're keeping tabs with what's happening across the country, if Kenyans are going back to work. And I now want to bring in my colleague Raquel Muigai, like I promised you, to just bring us up to speed with really what's happening in the CBD. Raquel, thank you for joining us. So when I was coming to work early in the morning, really there was no traffic, nobody in sight. It was a deserted city, I must say. Is that the same thing right now? Are people starting to come back to their normal activities, e.g. work?
Betty, at this, where I am standing right now is the Central Business District, one of the major streets, Kenyatta Avenue. At this particular point, the city is coming to life, given that we can see a lot of vehicles and also a number of people. From where you can be able to see this particular street on Kenyatta Avenue used to have, on a normal week or before elections, had a lot of cars parked on this street. But at this point, you can be able to count the number of cars that are on that street. If you try to be able, if you can be able to also look on this side, this street usually has a lot of traffic, but at this point, no major cars are passing on this route. We can be able to count the number of cars that are there. We also cannot be able to see the groups of people who usually congregate to just discuss issues on Kenyan matters or issues that affect them in their daily lives. That is a kind of situation at this point, but we can be able to say that it's now coming to life because at around 8 a.m. there were no people. You could be able to count the number of people and the number of cars that are passing on the streets, but at this point we can see that the city is coming to life. But I do have two people here with me who are just going to tell me about how this wait-and-see attitude has been after the elections, given that only Tuesday was declared a public holiday. But at this point, even yesterday and today, it seems that Kenyans have decided to stay at home. I'd just like to bring one of us. Just tell me your name and pia umekuja kazi leo. Ukikompare jana na leo imekuwaje?
Imekuwa mbaya kabisa tangu jana na leo. Hata jana ilianza hivi, lakini afadhali leo kidogo inaonekana kuna watu mmoja. Na tungeweza kuomba Wakenya wenzetu warudi tu na town, tufanye kazi pamoja, kwa sababu si hatuoni lolote lenye linaweza sababisha watu waogope kuingia town. Kwa sababu tunaona town iko sawa. Ni watu hawako wa kufanya biashara. Tungewaomba warudi, kura imepigwa imeisha. Warudi tufanye kazi, tujenge Kenya.
Asante sana. Just to have a final one, please tell us your name and also, have you been able to go to work? Were you able to go to work yesterday and even today, or how has the situation been like for you?
Yesterday, my name is Julius Kibero. Yesterday I was at home. I didn't come out of my house. The whole day I was just in my house. But today I've come to work, but unfortunately we have just decided to close because it seems no major activities going on all over town. So right now I'm back to my house.
Hope business resumes to normal as soon as possible. Betty, that is the situation here. Slow business, very few people walking in and out of this particular shops within this particular street. So probably after the end of the week, things will go back to normal as soon as the tension clears out, probably because the wait-and-see attitude happens to have taken hold of Kenyans after this particular election. Betty.
All right, Raquel, just before I let you go, you mentioned that wait-and-see attitude that we're seeing from Kenyans, but also just speaking to our colleagues in other parts of the country, they're saying that even hotels, other businesses are still locked up to now. Is that the same thing that you're registering here in the CBD? Are people opening up their businesses, the hotels, the different restaurants, banks? What have you noticed about these establishments?
From yesterday, very few shops were open. Actually, most of the food joints, you could not be able to find any food joints within this particular street, which has a lot of those. On this particular side, there is a shop referred to one of the most popular food joints called Subway, but it actually has not opened up until this moment. Where I'm standing from, I can be able to view Tuskys. It still hasn't opened its shops. One of the major, probably one of the major institutions that have opened their doors are the banks, which cannot remain closed even probably during public holidays. They get to open during half days from morning until until afternoon. But at this particular point, very few shops are opening. And as you've heard from one of the Kenyans here, he's been able to go to open his shop, but because of the slow business, he has closed his shop and decided to go back home. Betty.
All right, thank you very much, Raquel Muigai, reporting live and direct from the heart of the Nairobi City, the CBD, just talking to us about the desertion, people still at home. And we're asking you, we'd like to know, where are you? Did you decide to take leave? Did you decide to add some few days off work? Where are you? What are you doing? Why are we not seeing quite a number of Kenyans and Nairobians really coming into the city to continue with their normal businesses? We'd like to hear from you here on Kivumbi 2017.